Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for being here. I've forgotten your name. Gibbet, is it?
Mr. Gabert.
Gabert, sorry. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Okay, now on page 4 of your submission, Ms. Gabert, you say that the TIO can handle 3G shutdown-related complaint issues about, first one, misleading sales practices, the fifth one, unclear information. What, I don't know if you've read a submission by James Parker.
I haven't, Senator. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just while you're doing, sorry to interrupt you, Senator Roberts. My apologies. The chair has joined us online. Senator Canavan. No, he hasn't. Okay, my apologies. Keep going, but as soon as he does, I'll hang.
But I'm happy for you to chair. You're doing it so well, so it's better for someone in the room to do that. I'll just ask questions when I need to.
Thanks, Senator Canavan. Well, that stops me sneaking out halfway through. Senator Roberts, sorry.
And I'll get on to that in a minute. But for now, Mr Parker yesterday told us also that he believes that it seems that the industry, the telco industry, is sacrificing public interest for commercial interest, more handset sales, more telco sales, more revenue for associated industry, recouping their 5G investment, which hasn't been paying off so far. And what he says is that the industry has failed to address the root cause. They're saying, switch out, shut down 3G, it'll all be finished, no more problems. The core issue is serious 4G compatibility issues, and these issues can be solved with software, and that'll be the end of the problem. We also know, I don't know if you've listened to other submissions and other testimony today or yesterday.
I haven't, Senator Roberts.
We also know that other countries overseas, France, for example, have deferred their shutdown of 3G until late this decade. And 2028, for example, in France. Britain is still continuing with both their 2G and 3G. They're not shutting down. We've learned that only 2 countries have stopped their 3G. That's China and Japan, and they've got much higher population densities than we have, so they don't face the same issues. And maybe America has too. But is there a case for misleading sales practices? Because it seems to me from the evidence that the telcos have been saying 3G is old, there's better technology coming. The problem is just change the technology, sell more handsets, make more telco sales, more revenue for the associated industry, when all that's needed is a software fix and standardisation of software. Is that a miss?
Thank you, Senator. What we're hearing from consumers is they're heavily reliant, which I think goes to the core of what you're concerned about. They're heavily reliant on their telco, their phone and their internet to get clear information. What we've seen through our complaints is that customers are a bit confused. They're not really sure what's going on. Positively, though, we have seen some of the telcos come forward, particularly for those that are the most vulnerable, and offer a number of different solutions that try and help bridge the gap. But there are people who obviously know a lot more about the technical information and be able to respond specifically to the technical nature of your concern, Senator Roberts.
What I'm saying, Ms Gibbert, is that there's a case here, it seems, to be investigated for misleading sales practices because they're making the excuse of the wrong reason and also unclear information. We know from many witnesses yesterday and today that there are many small businesses who say, well, I've got a 5G phone, it doesn't affect me, when their business is embedded with 3G devices that'll shut down. So there'll be enormous cost, needless cost, because the telcos are covering up the main issue.
Thank you, Senator. That's not what's coming through to the complaints that we receive, and our role is really to ensure that we understand the nature of the issues coming to us and that we're able to work with the individual customers who are presenting to us about their concerns.
So you also mentioned that complaints are the tip of the iceberg, and we also know that the awareness is low, so I'm wondering whether that's deliberate, because the telcos are going to make a lot of money out of selling new handsets and potentially new devices. We know that my office went back over the recordings today, Handsets, 3G only, there'll be an extra 40,000 sold that will be redundant in next month. That's from Telstra alone, 224 from TPG. 4G non-VoLTE, 186,000, plus another 8,000 from TPG. 4G non-VoLTE emergency, 9,000 affected, as Telstra said. 25,000 Optus and 16,000. These are the words or the numbers that the telcos actually gave earlier this morning. 4G sub 700 megabyte, 13,000 from Telstra. Unsure and trying to assess, that's TPG, 16,500. That's 465,000 headsets. And as we've heard from many witnesses, a lot of people are unaware. Other devices, the Internet of Things, 3G water meters, etc., 399,000. That's Telstra. Smartwatches, 63,000. That's Telstra. Tablets, 45,000. Plus 100,000 from so that's 500,000 total from Telstra, 100,000 from Optus, 1,000 from TPG. Total of 608,000 other devices. That's a total of 1 million devices that will be redundant in a month.
Yes, Senator.
So there's nothing you can do about it? You have to go on complaints?
Beg your pardon, sorry,
you don't have to go. You can only act on complaints?
We can act on the complaints that we receive, Senator. We also have a systemic issue function that would look at whether there's something underpinning the nature of the issues coming to us. But the issues specifically that you've raised are not coming through in the nature that would prompt us to undertake a systemic investigation. And as I said before, we aren't able, as an Ombudsman scheme, to prevent or otherwise stop the shutdown of 3G.
No, I understand you can't stop it because that's cannot handle. You said in your submission the TIO cannot handle 3G shutdown-related complaint issues about dissatisfaction with the decision. I get that, but this is a potential catastrophe coming. It's only a month to go.
There is only a month to go. Yes, you're correct.
And a lot of individuals are going to be catastrophically hurt.
And you're correct, Senator. There is a significant impact on people. And one of the things that we've been doing since late last year is providing independent information and advice, specifically to those consumers that come to us, but also through our website and connecting our consumer panel in with industry organisations to help ensure more accurate provision of information to those that are impacted.
So who can we take this up with? Because you've said yourself, there's complaints are the tip of the iceberg. We've got massive number, over 1 million devices, 1,072,000 devices soon to be cut off. We've got low awareness. You said that as yourself, but you only deal with complaints. So how do we head this train wreck off?
I think it's a responsibility on the industry, as well as anyone around it like us, to ensure there is the provision of accurate information to help people both understand their rights, but also the steps that need to be taken in being able to manage themselves through the shutdown of 3G.
So can you contact James Parker, or at least read his submission?
I can contact James Parker. I can do that, Senator.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you.